I'm Jennifer Angel. This is my overview for the week of May the 16th. All right, so this is quite a big week. Now, last week, Jupiter came out of retrograde. We did have 5 planets retrograde at the start of this month. Mercury is going to come out of retrograde at the end of this week, which means that this week can be a little bit unsettling. When a planet is going in and out of retrograde, that period where it goes into the transit or out of the transit is called the storm. So, and particularly with Mercury, because Mercury does go retrograde 3 or 4 times a year for about 3 weeks either side, and then we have that period that it takes to get back to the degree that it started at. Okay, so that's called the shadow period. But technically the retrograde isn't really over until it gets back to that degree. But in my mind, as I've often said, life does not wait for Mercury to come out of retrograde. I'm pretty careful the 2, 3, 4 days either side. Technically, it's really a week either side. But, for me, I try not to, try not to really do too much in that period. In between, when the planet does go retrograde and then settles down, it settles down, it's still retrograde, but the energy sort of settles. So let's have a look at that. It's going to be on the 22nd, and which is right at the end of this week. So, if you have anything that you need to lock down, sensitive discussions, travel arrangements, computer work, I would be doing it, or negotiations for work, I would be doing it early in the week, like, before Wednesday, Monday and Tuesday, and then, later on in the week. I'd be leaving things really to about mid next week then, okay? But, as I say, life doesn't always wait for Mercury retrograde, so if you've got to go ahead and do something, then just be a little more cautious. Now, particularly for this week, because there's, some other stuff happening this week as well. There's a full moon, and there's also the full moon is on the 21st, and on the very next day, on the 22nd, same day as Mercury is going retrograde, we've got an opposition between Mars and the Sun. So we've got, and so that's really an opposition between the Sun and the Moon and Mars. Okay, so it's emotional, it's reactive. Mars is retrograde, so it does soften it off a little bit, pulls it back, but still can cause some frustrations. Okay, so now, of course, what this does when we have things like this in the chart, and I'll go through in a minute and do the individual reports, but what it does is it does really provide a trigger that if something's not working in your life, then it can just sort of, push the button, give you that push to really, say enough is enough, and I'm going to make some changes. Or, let's face it, Mars can be very reactive. And with the opposition with the Sun, and the Sun being, so powerful, that energy, you put that together with the full moon as well, it's emotional. So, if you've been watching me for a while, I do like I like to sort of say it as it is, but, I like to look at the other side as well. And there is always another side. And, sometimes it just sort of gets that intenseness of the planetary reactions, just makes you think about things a little more, deeply. And once you do that, then, you can get some clarity. So, it's not all bad. It can be sort of unsettling, yes. Now, at the start of the week, it's like I've sort of gone to the end of the week and worked its way back. Now, on the 20th, and let's see if it's just on the 20th, because, sometimes it goes over a day. So On the 20th, we've got the Sun is going to move into the sign of Gemini. And when we do have this activity at the end of the week, the Sun will be in Gemini. Mercury is still going to be in Taurus. Okay, so the Sun in Gemini is nice. It's a little bit more lighthearted. It's, you know, a little bit more just friendly and sociable. The Gemini sign is quite mischievous, so, you know, but it can be a little bit game playing as well. Not on a vicious way, but just, you know, if Gemini gets bored, then, you know, watch out. They can sort of have a bit of fun, okay? So this is nice coming up for the next month, so happy birthday, Gemini. That's your birthday is going to commence this week, and so it's a great time for all Geminis to get your goals in place and you review where you are and where you want to do. It's always a great time. I mean, it's you know, the middle of May, so it's a terrific time for all of us to do that. All right, so let's go ahead now and have a look at the individual reports. So for this week, more activity at the start of the week. Sort of try and chill a little bit towards the end of the week and over the weekend. And but if you do get into an altercation with someone, don't worry, it's probably meant to be. Okay. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jennifer Angel. Bye for now.